We believe that being a woman who is her own boss is a special type of journey that deserves more visibility in today's society. The problems we face can be and should be faced together. We found each other through our shared journeys. Resilience is the only answer to fulfill the dreams and callings of our lives. FlyGirls is an intimate look into the creative hustle through the lives of women who are educated, successful, spirited, and independent. We decided to embrace the power of creativity to empower the world and ourselves. It is time for you to join us and find a community dedicated to helping you soar. You deserve the right to dream big, design your success, and trust your process. Welcome. You are the pilot of your own destiny. You are a fly girl, and you believe in what you dream.
Welcome to FlyGirls. I am your pilot, S.Ladybug. Today I will be co-piloting with the lovely Proverbs. And again, FlyGirls is all about the creative hustle in the lives of beautiful women who are educated, successful, spirited, and independent. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
This is super exciting. I want everyone to know all about you. So let's just get right into it.
Okay.
Let us know
all the things.
Who you are, where you're from, and where we're heading on this creative journey.
Yeah, so I'm Proverbs. I'm originally from Queens, New York. I am a preacher, poet, educator, and creative social entrepreneur.
Nice. So where are we headed?
Where are we headed? Where are we going? You tell me.
No, where are we headed with, you as
your
work, your creative entrepreneurship?
Gotcha.
Are we headed to the moon?
We're headed to truth telling and to healing. So Where's the Thrivers is a platform that I use for sisters just like me who are survivors of male sexual violence. And so statistics show that 70% of Black women are sexually abused before they turn 18.
Wow.
70%. That's an epidemic. If 70% of the Black women you knew just up and got the swine flu, you'd be like, what is going on?
Right.
And so I'm all about trauma, healing, and resiliency and transformation through storytelling.
So what events kind of led to this work?
Yeah, so I actually have a personal testimony with my own trauma. I created a term in 2009. It's called Surthriver because the word Surthriver. Yeah, because survivor just feels like kind of blah, like I'm limping and meandering through life, and I'm like, no, I'm degreed and I have a wonderful community and I'm flourishing, like despite facing these really, really traumatic experiences. And so I am a surthriver of childhood sexual abuse and intimate partner violence. And so because I have that personal experience, I thought, well, maybe this is something I can share through my words, particularly through poetry. Right. And once I started sharing those stories, women, men, Black, white, everybody would come up to me and be like, thank you, that's my story too. So once I saw that it resonated, I said, I want to normalize this conversation, and art is a great way to do that.
Well, good for you, and thank you so much for your work and taking those steps.
Yeah.
Just as a way of being very transparent and understanding what that meant for you, and just understanding you had an idea of taking that step to even share your story, and just share with us what kind of steps it took to even initiate the first one.
Right.
Because there's all kind of different things that you're probably dealing with, society, people's thoughts, and I want to talk about all those things.
Yeah, even as a child having those experiences, the first thing that I did was I rushed to school because, being around family wasn't really helpful for me, but my teachers were my safety net, and that's why I became a teacher's pet. I was valedictorian in 6th grade, okay, because I was just loving school and being around friends and all of that. And so it wasn't until I got older and started getting involved in romantic relationships where I realized, this trauma is having an effect on how I show up in this space.
Right.
How do I figure this out? And so, I tried talking to a priest when I was a teenager, and he wasn't really giving me what I needed. I felt like it was very stale and very put the onus on me as the survivor at the time, as a survivor to sort of do the work. And I was like, no, I need to express myself. It's not just about forgetting it. People say things like, oh, just forgive and forget. or just move on. You can't just move on from something like that. And
it's something you definitely carry.
Right.
For sure.
And so I think forgiveness is inherently confrontational. And so it's important for folks to confront the trauma. Even if the people around you won't do it, you yourself have to do that. I think sometimes as sisters, because we live into this strong Black woman trope, which is trash, because we have a right to be vulnerable.
Exactly.
That we think we need to just hold on and minimize and repress. And it's like, no, every time you repress that, you're not giving it space to heal. So I think the first thing really is to face it and name it as trauma. And
so some of the things of you're even just going through the process of facing it for yourself and self-reflection and things that you went through that, what kind of external things were you able to lean on as far as, you know, just helping you through the process and just understanding what it was? Because I mean, it is a part of your life. You made it normal, but also you had to deal and tolerate with everything else that went with it. And you probably went through eras of like maybe potentially feeling alone. And this is more so for anyone out there who feel like their story is genuine to them and they're the only person in the world and they feel like they have to be isolated, you know. What would you tell them as far as your story goes and how you've been able to just get over this mountaintop and shine and perform and do all the great things that you're doing currently?
Yeah, we still climbing. We getting over. You know, I feel like healing is a lifelong journey. But for me, being able to share my story has been really helpful. Getting involved in therapy, you know, psychotherapy was huge. My friend Jeanette Jordan, she calls it mental hygiene, right?
Nice.
Not instead of mental health or mental illness and mental sickness that has all this like stigma around it. Think about it just the same way that you shower, just the same way that you get your mani-pedi, right? Maintenance and upkeep, that's how we think about it. I think for me, it was important to realize that by speaking, I was inherently healing. Janice Mirikatani, she's a poet, and she's also a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. And she says, silence builds walls.
Yes, it does.
So I think you're absolutely right, where you think I'm the only one in the world who's gone through this. Nobody's going to understand it. And so to, you know, anyone who might feel that way, I would say, I believe you. I acknowledge you. I'm sorry that happened to you, and it wasn't your fault.
Right. I think we're now in an era where, at least at minimum, on blanket, people are dealing with the different type of conversation with all the Me Too things that are going on, and, you know, all the little different journeys that happen with it, but they're much larger stories that go with it. So I would say also for you, throughout your journey and through your current work with, you know, Beautiful Scars and, you know, some of your spoken word. I mean, like, you're all over the place. I mean, I can go down the list of everything that you do. But I would say for us and all the ones who are listening, what's kind of like your approach?
My approach is to be selfish. I think we're taught to be selfless and to put everyone first. And, you know, I'm the daughter of West Indian immigrants. And so culturally, it was all about the man, right? It was a very patriarchal upbringing that I had, where whatever like my father needed, or whatever my brother needed, like they would get it first. And I think sometimes as FlyGirls, we revert to that sometimes. And it's like, no, what's going to make me happy in this moment?
Right.
Maybe not going home for the holidays, because that's not a safe space for me. You know, not being in a relationship with folks you've known forever because it's toxic. Implementing boundaries and being okay with that. Knowing how to say no and not feeling bad about it, right? No is a sacred word, and it protects our energy and our life source. So I think it's okay to be selfish in some seasons.
Right. Cool. Very cool. So throughout this journey of you utilizing this creative energy and creative power that you have in a world of entrepreneurship, what have been some of like the misconceptions that either you faced personally or ones that you walked into just during the journey of developing your business out?
Yeah, there are a couple things that come to mind. One is the idea of the starving artist, right? Like that we live in a society that doesn't value the profits and the time capsules, the ones who speak to the status quo. I'm thinking about like Basquiat, right? And how he would do anything for his art. And now, you know, that he's gone and transitioned and an ancestor, you know, we're giving him all of these accolades. I'm like, well, what happened when he was here? You know, give me my flowers while I'm alive.
Exactly.
And I can smell them. So there's that. And then also being a woman of faith, you know, there's, I guess, the Siamese twin to prosperity gospel talk around like name it and claim it, and what you have will be yours. This idea that because, you know, my Christian faith and my sensibilities lean towards understanding how Jesus lived his life on the earth, that because he didn't have a mansion and because, you know, he didn't have wealth and all that, that somehow I'm supposed to be broke too. I'm like, look, just because Jesus was broke don't mean I need to be broke. Okay,
right.
boo,
Yeah.
not happening.
Exactly.
So I heard recently on a podcast, Miley Teal's message, where someone was saying that the reason why you have to pay for my knowledge is because I had to pay for my knowledge.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I have 2 master's degrees. I have invested financially, time, you know, missing friends' birthdays, pulling all-nighters to finish papers and to study, right? Like, I did the work. So now, if you would like my experience and my expertise to pour into you, you know, there's going to be an investment for that.
Exactly. You had to go through the process and you trusted it, and now you have these results, and now
precisely. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's value that's attached to it, and it's not just a dollar value.
And it's not just a dollar value, because at the end of the day, we're going to spend our money on something. You might as well invest in yourself and the things that are going to help you. A new pair of shoes, cute, right? But also not necessarily life-changing, right? Especially if you're dealing with something as deep as sexual trauma.
Exactly. And people need to understand from the beginning, right? So for you, what does your core audience look like?
Yeah, so for me, I'm geared towards Black women who are 18 to 35. They're collegiate or young professionals, and they're digitally savvy. Now, the work that I do, Beautiful Scars, which thank you for mentioning even before I did, is for Black women 18 and up. Because I do want to foster intergenerational conversations about sex and sexuality, particularly among Black women. But because I know that millennials are the ones who own social platforms and social media, because I'm harvesting a community online, like, that's going to be the base. And I say that they're typically educated, that they are probably entrepreneurs themselves, because there are a lot of us who didn't go the other route, like the stereotypical stripper or, you know, substance abuser, or not saying that like those you've never had experience with either of those things, because they can definitely happen to anyone, regardless of, you know, education, socioeconomic status, all of that. But to say that there's a set of the population who are PhD students and CEOs and law enforcement officers and have power and influence in their sphere, in their communities. But if they never integrated this very important trauma into their narrative, they can't go really deeply into like the work that they're doing, because there's always this part of them that they are trying to compartmentalize,
and they skip the process,
and they skip the process. So that's why I'm trying to find the 6th grade valedictorians, right? Who are like, I'm out here being a perfectionist, but why are you trying to be a perfectionist? What is that compensating for? So
gotcha.
Yeah.
So on that note, we're going to take a small break, and we are going to be back, and once we return, we're going to move into our next segment, and I hope you guys are really excited. Stay tuned. Welcome back with FlyGirls. I'm your pilot, S.Ladybug, and I'm still co-piloting here with Proverbs. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, hey.
So we're going to move into our next segment that I like to call Getting Your Roll On.
Yeah.
So everyone knows at this point that I'm a crocheter.
No.
And I have an infatuation of yarn.
Really?
And I know purple is your favorite color.
It is. Thank you.
So one of the things that is kind of just special about yarn movement and the movement that's being started is that when I learned how to crochet, I never knew then when I was 12 years old that now that I'm in adulthood, I'm dealing with so many problems or issues that I'm trying to overtake, that yarn would be my answer. And so this is something I like to share with people, because this is my way of kind of like downloading my life in certain moments. So this is called Getting Your Roll On. We're actually going to be making a yarn ball.
Okay.
So you want to find the beginning.
Is there a preferred beginning?
No, that's
okay.
Yeah. And so you're right-handed, correct?
I am.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap on your left hand.
Okay.
And we're gonna start by just wrapping 5 times. Okay. And then you want to remove it. and you want to make almost like a bow. So you in the middle, you want to wrap 5 times there.
I feel like yours is longer than mine.
It's okay.
Okay. I know. All are welcome in the yarn movement.
They are, because just even during this process, it just shows, a direct reflection of life. You know, sometimes you may feel loose. Sometimes you may feel like you're really short with people. Long. You want to take the time to be detailed. All of that happens here.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it's just like the psychology of just wrapping. So you allow your brain to think and link. Like your process of overcoming something, for instance, or just downloading or just getting rid of some energy that is not going to be good for the next moment.
Right. I know. I'm curious about your viewers who might take up crocheting as a spiritual practice.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing that because I'm going to be doing sip and stitches, and that's what that is, for us to sit down and just talk about it. And so now you're going to take those 2 ends and fold them in the middle.
Okay.
And then you want to just wrap around that little piece.
Oh, we're literally making a ball. Oh, my goodness. I see it. Nice.
So while we're doing this, because this is the healing process of all the things that you just downloaded with us and shared your journey, and it's
see how fast I'm going? Am I going too fast?
No, you're going correct. Okay. And then so you also want to like kind of turn with it because you're getting your roll on now.
Just like life. This is so interesting. Okay.
So now we're going to discuss the importance of women in leadership.
Yeah, that's super
What's your
important.
view on that?
Trust Black women. Listen to Black women. Protect Black women. Fund Black women. No, that's my philosophy on that. I think we're seeing a global shift in leadership, particularly with women taking the helm, because there's a certain energy that like the sacred feminine body brings to the space, right? Like we're nurturers, we're creatives, we're creators. And I think you're seeing that our ingenuity, our resourcefulness is helping folks' bottom line.
Yeah.
And so even though they're still, in a patriarchal muddle of ideology, that we're getting our due. Like the tide is definitely shifting.
So inspirations. Who is the flyest girl, past or present?
Oh man, that's hard. I mean, okay, so I love Tracee Ellis Ross. I just love her authenticity. I love her fashion sense. She's like, you gonna get this hair, you gonna get this booty, okay, and
you're gonna get
every part. And she's chosen a really beautiful path for herself. Yeah, and I think she's the embodiment of, Black girl magic and owning your narrative and not living the journey that someone else says you're supposed to live.
Right. So speaking of beauty and authenticity, I would say, what's your beauty reg?
Beauty regimen consists a lot of the Nag Champa Incense Company. They have a vegan soap that's like
that smells amazing.
Girl. And every time I use it, people are like, "Did you get a facial?" I'm like, "No, this is Nag Champa soap." Like, I love it, and it's not super expensive. I also use a lot of coconut oil. Just douse it on everything. You gotta burn coconut oil. Lost your job, coconut oil.
And what about this big chop you just did?
Yes, so I had locks for 8 years.
And they were so beautiful.
They were.
Too.
I know. I miss them sometimes, but I love my cut. I was ready for a change. I was ready to level up. And so I had to release some energy, that I had been carrying through my hair, because we carry energy through our hair.
Yes, we do.
And so I loved it. And I love my barber, Chris. He's amazing. So.
And I saw recently on your social media, because social media stalk people. I saw a picture you posted of Issa, because you were trying to.
Yes. Okay. So listen, viewers, I want to be on season 4 of Insecure. People follow me, holler at me. I've been stalked once because people swear I'm Issa, which isn't unfathomable, right? Because she went to Stanford. Like, she could definitely be in the Bay Area, but I have storylines, right? Like Papa, who was a Rolling Stone, I can get caught doing some things and everybody swears it's Issa, but it's really me. So yes, Insecure season 4 or bust.
Gotcha. So before we move into the next segment, because I want everyone to hear from you and your special gift that you have been sharing all over, and for those who haven't heard, will be blessed today.
Yay!
I made something for you.
Oh, what? Look, I can't even hold my ball. What we got?
I made something for you.
Turn up, turn up, turn up.
And it's in this.
Do I open it now or
yes,
later?
Yes, you do. Please.
Oh, this is cute. I have allergies. It's a cute cat, but
that's a close dog. I'm not that lady. I'm not the crochet cat person.
Okay, what do I open first? Take it out the bag. Okay, that might help. Yes, come on, earrings.
Those are the made you look tasseled earrings.
Yes.
In your favorite color.
Thank you.
Ooh, those are gonna be so cute.
We out here. These will go great with my my lippy.
Yes.
My heroin lippy. Okay, very cute. I'm gonna leave these here. Actually, I'm gonna put them in the bag. Oh, that also is adorned with the Yarn Movement logo.
Of course.
But of course, darling.
But of course, it's all about detail.
Those are super cute. Okay.
And then this slouch hat, because, you know, for those who don't know, you're the dopest spinner teacher in Oakland.
I am. Yes, I teach spin classes at Ride Oakland on Piedmont Avenue. So first class is free. Folks need to come. You've been.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, you don't play games.
We out here. We got
goals. You
don't
play games. If you're looking for a workout, she got you.
We got goals, okay?
We do.
Cute. All right. Well, I'm going to have to put this on the gram when I wear
Please
it.
do.
Thank you.
Tag, Yarn Movement all over, and, we make it happen.
Thank you.
And I guess it'll be a good time to take a break because I guess we got to pay some bills. So we'll be right back. And the next voice you'll hear is Sister Proverbs over here dropping knowledge on us. See you soon. Welcome back. I am your host, S.Ladybug, and we are going to hear from the beautiful Proverbs.
Angry black woman. 25 seek single black male, 18 to 55 for long draining discussions and arguments in the park. Will nag and torment you, disrespect and condescend to, hurt you but claim to be true, forcing you to skip to someone else's loo. I will smile adoringly, gaze at you longingly, laugh at every joke you crack, gently caress your shoulders and back, hold your hands in the palm of mine, cook your favorites as we wine and dine, offer you fluff, affection, adoration, until the moment you piss me off. And it's funny the things that tick me off, like you finding me a bit of a sloth, or how I'm drawn to this weed like a flame draws a moth, cussing and fussing and clearly so full of it, claiming to be celibate but still giving head a bit. I am your angry black woman, full of hurts and pain, supremely depleted, totally drained, trying to get you to make me feel good. I travel from bed to bed and hood to hood, looking for real love to unfold. And it's not that I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. It's that I reach for the first thing I see to fill these gaping spaces. I have been lied and cheated on, fire tried and weather worn. I have years of this experience, basically my whole life, and I don't know how to be your friend, but I'm ready to be your wife. You can be my new addiction. Coke and rum no longer my affliction until we have our first disagreement. Then send the search party because I'm hitting the cement, retreating to the dark crevices of my mind, hanging with the girls to relax and unwind instead of coming straight to you. Because I got all this mouth when I'm up in your face, but minus the attitude, I'm as fragile as lace. And yet, you took a chance on me because I gave you my word, my guarantee that I would be different. But our relational weather got inclement and I don't know how to handle you with care. So creep on over to the Crayola box and my nose flares. I see you with Jessie. She's so spunky and carefree with hair the color of the sun and eyes the shade of the sea. But then I remember that I pushed you away. So how dare I get angry when I see you loving on Yuki? Come to think of it, dude, you always did have a thing for anime and sushi. Or that time that you were Trina from the Philippines, Natasha from Russia, Francesca from Italy. No, they love them some chocolate. And me, I did you dirty. But even though I put you through, I do long to be worthy. So I find myself once more standing into the door of my innermost being. The past is the substance of my present. The present is the time for me to relent, to let go and repent before God, for damage caused to my body and mind, for pain I've inflicted time after time, innocent bystanders, victims of my emotional hurricane. My prescription to the subscription of carrying baggage has ended. I lift my heart to the heavens to be mended so I can learn to love, grow, help, build, encourage, and affirm in your destiny help fulfill. Don't need a pedestal because you're already elevated in my eyes. Dealing with reality despite yearns to fantasize. Want to be the best so you can leave the rest in favor of help meant for you. Words and love that are honest and true. Looking into your eyes, I do surmise that I am she. Former angry Black woman, now humble teammate who loves tenderly. I won't hurt, harm, or foul, but rather give God praise for this wonderful partner God has blessed me with. I am your loving, whole woman, not just Black and no longer angry.
Proverbs, you've been introduced. If you're interested in following, make sure you find her on IG at LyvonneP. That's LYVONNEP. FlyGirls, stay tuned to the next episode. We're going to keep on coming because there's a lot of flyness out here. Signing out, your pilot S. Ladybug.